I'll be presenting on the Aravalli Protection Movement, one of the most significant and ongoing environmental political debates in contemporary India. This movement is not just about mountains and mining, it is about democracy, justice, law, and a kind of development India chooses to pursue. Let me take you through this debate systematically. What are the Aravallis? To understand the movement, we must first understand what the Aravallis are. The Aravalli Range is among the oldest mountain systems on Earth, nearly 2 billion years old. Stretching over 650 kilometers from Delhi all the way to Gujarat, it passes through Haryana and Rajasthan. It is not merely a geological formation, it is a living, breathing ecosystem that millions of people depend on directly and indirectly. Why it matters and what threatens it. Ecologically, the Aravallis perform irreplaceable functions. They act as a natural barrier preventing the Thar Desert from expanding eastward into the fertile Indo-Gangetic plains. They recharge groundwater aquifers for millions of people, sustain rich biodiversity, and regulate the regional climate. Despite this, the range faces severe threats: rampant illegal and legal mining, unregulated real estate construction, and a deep-rooted nexus between the state governments and powerful mining lobbies. This destruction has been happening for decades. The Safe Aravalli Movement. The Safe Aravalli Movement did not emerge overnight. It has roots going back decades, with local activists and tribal communities fighting against mining and deforestation. However, it gained fresh momentum in 2025 when a Supreme Court ruling triggered widespread public outrage. The Save Aravalli campaign went viral, with protests erupting across Haryana, Rajasthan, and Delhi. Young activists, tribal leaders, and civil society groups came together, making it one of the most visible environmental movements in recent Indian history. Judicial intervention, a double-edged sword. The Supreme Court has been a central actor in this debate. In 2025, it adopted a uniform scientific definition: any landform rising 100 meters or more above local ground level would be considered part of the Aravalli Range. It also imposed a freeze on new mining leases and directed the Indian Council of Forestry Research and Education to prepare a management plan for sustainable mining. However, in a remarkable turn of events, the court later stayed its own order and intense controversy, showing just how contested the issue is at the judicial level. The 100-meter controversy. The 100-meter threshold is the heart of this controversy. When you look at the actual data, areas above 100 meters cover only about 1,400 square kilometers. That is just 8.7% of the entire Aravalli landscape. This means over 91% of the range, including vast ecologically sensitive areas, wildlife corridors, and aquifer recharge zones, could remain legally open to mining and construction. Critics and conservationists argue that this definition was shaped by mining lobby interests and that the voices of those fighting for conservation were systematically ignored. Politics, people, and power. The Aravalli debate is deeply political on multiple levels. This is a center-state conflict over who controls mining regulation across different states. There is also a glaring double standard that mining is completely banned in Delhi's portion of the Aravallis, yet continues in Rajasthan and Haryana. Critics rightly ask, if Delhi deserves full protection, why not its neighbors? This selective environmentalism weakens the moral credibility of the conservation movement. Most importantly, tribal and local communities face the threat of displacement, making this not just an ecological issue but a fight for environmental justice. The way forward. To conclude, the Aravalli protection movement is a powerful example of contemporary political debate where ecology, law, development, democracy, and justice all collide. It raises fundamental questions: who gets to define what is worth protecting? Who bears the cost of development? And whose voices count in environmental policy making? What is urgently needed is a uniform science-based protection policy applied equally across all states, transparent governance free from industrial influence, and genuine participation of local and tribal communities. The Aravallis are not just mountains, they are a life support system for northwestern India and a test of India's democratic and ecological conscience. Thank you.